How you doing, everyone? Welcome along to this video. So this is just not sort of Simbrig specific. It's sort of a help for people that are doing the seasons, just really to get a bit more out of ACC, give you a bit more of a chance. So like I said, it's not specifically to do with seasons, it's more really ACC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of go through what I do pretty much to do with the races, just to sort of prep myself. Obviously now that there isn't a practice server specific for seasons, like I said, it's just good practice really, just to give you that extra leg up in the title, I think, in the game. So we'll start with the quick races. Obviously the track changeovers are Tuesdays now, so obviously new tracks come. So what I'm doing, obviously, with the quick races, you've got no qualifying. You've got a 5-minute practice, which isn't too bad. So I'm seeing what the tracks are before I sort of enter. I then go and have a look for a setup, see if I've got a setup, see what car is the quickest for that track, because obviously Sim Seasons doesn't run the BOP. There is no BOP, so obviously, yeah, it's got to be sort of like one of the quicker cars, really, to give you that extra sort of leg up. So I'll do all that, then I'll obviously work out what car I want. Then I will get my setup. I will sort of, well, put it in manually, because you have to a console. Obviously, I won't worry about the tyres as such. Now, like I said, the quick races, you sign up, you're ready to go, you've got all that in place. Jump into the server as early as possible. You've got 5 minutes for practice. There is no quali, so you're just going to then run for a 12-minute. You're running sort of 27 litres, maybe 30, depending on the track. Maybe less, maybe more. I mean, I'm always a little bit iffy with a fuel. I don't want to run out. So yeah, for that 5 minutes, go out, get your tyres up to where they're supposed to be for them track temperatures, come back in, and then save it. That's you done for the quick race. You then got your setup saved for the track temperature, and yeah, the ambient / track temperature, and that's it. Then you can technically go to all the quick races at that specific circuit. You've got it dialed in, so then you do it then for the other 2 tracks, basically, because there is the 3-track rotation. Proving ground's a little bit more difficult. There's only a 3-minute practice, so you might have to sort of sacrifice one race to get your tyres dialed in your setup, and yeah, and sort of same scenario as such, but yeah, you have got the quali, so you're going to sort of get your quali setup dialed in and your race setup, because you're running more fuel. The tyres are going to be slightly out. So mini enduro, you've got a 3-minute practice, 10-minute quali, so I think you'd maybe have to sacrifice again. But Andy at Go For Community Racing has usually got a practice server dialed in for that. So that's my sort of help on that. Let's get into, like I said, what I've seen with other people's streams. I'm not going to sort of mention anyone, but people that are sort of struggling and stuff, just to sort of help with race starts, really, a leg up the race starts, what I do. So we're just going to run through this. I'm not going to really talk, and just look for what I do, basically, see if you can see what I actually do. So I'll cut in here anyway. So yeah, with as soon as it goes to this part, the speed, you can jump it into the red slightly, but obviously you need it to come back down to green quite quickly, just to get that extra advantage. And obviously I'm away, and yeah, okay, it's easier starting at the front of the grid, but I do believe this will work in the sort of mid pack to the rear as well. So gonna jump through. Let's see if you've spotted the 3 things, really, I'm going to show you what I do at the start. So obviously you've prepped, you've got the setup dialed in and everything else. So as I said, let's see if you've noticed the 3 things that I do, not in any particular order, really. So we're going to come round, making sure we're not sort of overshooting the line. So we're going to stop it about, let's get it up, just want it in the perfect position. So we've stopped it. As you can see, there is this, would you say, this perception that maybe you've got to stay inside the green box. You've got the 3 green lines. Obviously, the one in the middle is quite a bit thicker than the other 2. Obviously, sort of being the middle part. You don't want to obviously drop back too far, basically, from the first one, because you will get a warning that you have to speed up. You'll get sort of so many seconds, and the same as if you overshoot the top one, because you want to keep in. Now, I think there's a bit of a what would you say? Not really sort of a perception, a bit of a not even a conspiracy. What can we call it? I'm trying to think of the word. A bit of a myth, maybe, would probably be the word, that you have to keep inside the green. Now, that is not true. As you can see from where my car is placed, which is the white block, I am almost in the middle, for my car anyway, of that last line. Now, if you slightly go over that, it will give you an arrow to send you back, to say basically you need to sort of pull back, but you can still have that slight advantage. You can still, and like I said, a lot of drivers don't understand this, so this is where I sort of get a leg up, an advantage when I start, that I'm already maybe half a car length in front of them, which I'm doing nothing wrong because it's in the game. And then, like I said, I'm then getting away. So I mean, that's my sort of hint number 1. And as I said, this will work for sort of mid-pack. I know it's a bit more difficult. Obviously, the ghosting sort of helps, but obviously you don't want to be inside someone when you start. Yeah, but I mean, they could be out of place on the grid. You don't know. But as I said, you want to be maybe, yeah, quite close to the car in front. Obviously, you've got to be aware there is cars around you. You're not starting on the front row. You've got a bit more of a license to explore the track being on the front. But as I said, you've got to try and get every advantage. And obviously with this, that line is, yeah, for me, an advantage. So that's why I've sort of put it in. And that's my first sort of pointer on what I do at the start. So let's move on to my second point. Okay, so race start again. And again, just to stop it, you're looking here. This is what you want to look at when I sort of start going for the start procedure. See if you can notice any change. So, did you see it? I've basically clicked it up to TC, or down, sorry, to TC2, which in theory, getting off the line sort of lights the tyres up slightly, and it also gives you that extra advantage on the sort of the actual start, the green. So to do this, you basically go to options. You can do this from the menu in the server or out. So controls, you want to go over then to control bindings, and it's like I said, it's basically mapping the buttons, and I map them on the D-pad, which is on my wheel, which makes it a lot easier. And as you can see, I usually run TC2 and 3 anyway, in most cars, sort of Lambo and McLaren. So as I said, I drop it down to 2, so then I know the TC's not going to cut in from the start, so it just gives you that slight extra advantage, because obviously the TC cutting in is going to stop your sort of wheels trying to spin or rotate, so it's holding you back. So that's what I do at the start. I just flick it down to 2. So on to my third and final sort of hint for the start. So again, race start. Let's see if you guys can notice exactly what I'm doing. I will put the arrow in and show you sort of where you want to be looking again. So for people that don't know, obviously both meters, green is accelerator and it's sort of orangey red is brake. Now basically you want to ride the brakes, simple as holding your throttle down and your brake at the same time, to basically heat up your tyres. Most of these SimGrid races, I think, if not all of them, I don't think I've actually done one that has a full formation lap. So you haven't got the opportunity to get your tyres up to proper working temperature when you're at full chat. So basically, you'll again want to try and get the maximum advantage as you can off the starting grid. So having the tyres up to, like I said, as max as working temperature when you're actually hooning it around the track is an advantage. It's as simple as that. So yeah, riding the brakes and the accelerator at the same time, and then obviously coming off probably just before it starts to obviously tell you the speed you need to keep in. You can, which I'm not going to cover in this video, maybe you guys could try it, but it is trying to remember everything to do at the start, especially on a short formation. You can actually brake boost. Some cars actually benefit from brake boosting, which is basically riding the brakes in the accelerator, keeping it then when the speed comes up in that box of sort of, is it 40, 41, 42, and then as soon as the lights go green, letting go of the brake, and obviously mashing your throttle down. And it sometimes, certain cars gives an extra sort of advantage, an extra sort of kick as well. But like I said, we won't cover that because it is a bit too much to sort of trying to get it in that line or just above the line at the start, while remembering to do the TC, while remembering to riding your brakes and everything else. So but yeah, that's it basically. It was just like I said, not really a shortish video because it sort of ran on a little bit, but yeah, just sort of my helpful advice to do with SimGrid basically, and to do with ACC more, not so much SimGrid, but exactly what I do. And I believe it does give you slight advantages. It really does. It's just prep. It's just the sort of prep work, getting that prep work in, especially at the start of a new week, which is again Tuesdays for SimGrid. The changing of the tracks, getting, like I said, you're sort of doing your homework. You're doing the leg work first before you pretty much jump into that track, that you're not then on the back foot, because you want to try and get every advantage you can. And I think more so if this does turn out like LFM, that they do season after season after season, they're getting all the information they need, the laps, they bring in BOP, you're then going to get put in lobbies with sort of drivers on your level. You want to try and get every advantage you can, every little leg up, whether it's just a tenth or two, whether it's just getting that advantage at the start. If you are lucky enough to put it on pole, pole in this title isn't like Formula One where you're staggered, that you've got that sort of half a car length advantage. You want to try and make that half a car length advantage at the start. So like I said, hopefully with these hints and tips, this will give you that advantage. And definitely give me a shout in the comment section below this video if it has helped. I mean, like I said, it's what we're here for. We all love sim racing. We all want to help each other out. Maybe not necessarily on the same bit of tarmac when you're racing, but I mean, it's all fair racing at the end of the day. And you also, like I said, you want more people round your level as well, so then you're getting better, closer racing. But yeah, as I said, that's me. I'm going to go. Like I said, it wasn't it's supposed to be the shortest video. It's ran on a little bit now, but as I said, as long as it helps you guys out, that's all I aim for. So yeah, as I said, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, if you've just come across me. We're going to try and do a few more videos like this, or I mean, to do with ACC really, especially with the extra influx of drivers that have come across from GT7. So, but yeah, that's me. I'm going to go, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.